Happy Australia Day! It's the Queen's stage of this year's Tour Down Under, and after a fantastic week of racing so far, it's all to play for on stage 6. Starting in the wine region of McLaren Vale, we take on 3 large loops around Aldinga Beach. Then with 26 kilometres to go, they turn left off the main circuit to tackle 2 ascents of Willunga Hill. It's 3 kilometres long at an average of 7.5%, historically the perfect climb for Richie Porte, who will be hoping to win this stage for the 7th time in a row and ultimately take the leader's ochre jersey from Daryl Impey, who himself will be looking to make history by winning the Tour Down Under overall for the 3rd successive year. Mike Turter waved the flag at kilometre 0 for the final time in his career. He's been the race director since the very beginning and will pass the torch to Stuart O'Grady in 2021 after 20 successful years. He couldn't have planned his last stage much better. We had a massive 26 rider break go clear inside the opening kilometres. A lot of rouleurs in there like Luke Rowe, Cesare Benedetti and Marco Haller. But the danger man, at least on general classification, was Joey Roscoff at 58 seconds. He also leads the King of the Mountains competition, and his main aim will have been to stay up front at least until the first ascent of Willunga to secure that jersey. The GC leaders were playing it cool in the bunch. Agir Le Mondial setting the pace for the first half of the stage, the gap now up to nearly 4.5 minutes with 90 kilometres to go. George Bennett with a friendly word to ochre jersey Daryl Impey. Whatever was said, it only needed a very short answer. Andre Greipel rolled back the years at the first intermediate sprint. He's won 18 stages of the Tour Down Under in his career, and his odds of a 19th were significantly improved since the start of the day. It wasn't all plain sailing in the break though, at least not for Elio Kaiser, a little loss of concentration and riding straight into the back of Bert-Jan Lindemann. He would brush himself down though and rejoin the front group, who were approaching the second intermediate sprint, Sam Welsford of UniSA getting his wheel in front to take the spoils. Inside 40 kilometres to go and it was all change at the front. Mas Pedersen, playing the role of super domestique, took control of the front. Geoffrey Bouchard done for the day. If Porte did end up taking the overall, a lot of it would be down to this man. Intermediate sprinter, protector, breakaway catcher. He's given everything for his team this week. Up front, Domen Novak got to the front on the first time up Willunga, and at this point the lead was a much more tentative 1 minute 30. Luis Leon Sanchez had some FOMO. He attacked the peloton in hope of catching the escapees, but it certainly wouldn't be before Joey Roscoff claimed the points he needed to secure the polka dot jersey. A lot less than 26 going over the top, but still working efficiently, and the break actually gained a minute on the descent to keep their hopes alive. Up to the foot of Willunga again, and it was UAE Team Emirates leading the bunch. They'd caught Sanchez and a few stragglers from the break, but there were still plenty of riders out there with a chance. Rutsch of EF Pro Cycling had hit out early. Sunweb's Michael Storer was climbing well on the 9% slopes. Behind, Chris Harper was hauling the GC favourites as Luke Rowe dropped back to assist his Ineos teammates. But disaster for the ochre jersey, Daryl Impey losing ground with 2 kilometres still to run. And with Richie Porte looking as lively as ever, his lead was fading fast. Antoine Tolhoek had drawn Simon Yates and Dylan van Baarle along, but another glance behind and Porte was looking to press on again. Up front, Storer had company in the form of Bruno Amaral and Matt Holmes, all 3 looking at each other, and further down the road to see who might be about to join them. Porte and Yates were tearing past the remnants of the break, Yates able to hang on until the symbolic 1 kilometre banner, where Porte really hits the afterburners. Another look behind and there's the bad news. Richie was on fire and he caught the leading trio in no time at all, going straight past them and onto the front foot. Then came the textbook second kick with 500 metres to go, and he'd opened up the wheel on Storer. This looked like the winning move, but he wasn't banking on the plucky Matt Holmes, who put in a massive dig to sling himself over the top of Storer and onto the wheel of Porte. For the first time in 7 years, he wasn't alone by the top, and Holmes had more in the tank, rounding the Tasmanian on the bend to the finish and powering onto the line. This was the moment the king was dethroned. All hail Matt Holmes. What a way to win your first World Tour stage on debut. Well, the streak may be over, but a smile from the Tasmanian as he'd done more than enough to claim the second ochre jersey of his career. Daryl Impey had to fight every single day for the race lead, but sadly not able to match the leaders on the final climb. He came in around 20 seconds down. Well, in post-race interviews, he admitted he didn't know what sort of rider he is. Based on that performance, though, I can surmise that Matt Holmes is a very good rider indeed. What a dream start to his World Tour career. And a pretty good start to this man's season too. It's a race he targets every year and does so with incredible consistency. Boiro showing fight to claim third with Amaral, Storer, Ulisi, Geschke, Dennis and Van Baarle all at 7 seconds. A complete performance this week from Richie Porte, keeping himself out of trouble on the sprint stages and targeting the GC days with laser-like precision. A great team effort from Trek Segafredo and a thrilling start to the 2020 Men's World Tour. Here's your overall top 10, and you can see just how fine those margins are. The last 2 spots on the podium separated only by countback, with Ulisi, Geschke, Dennis and Van Baarle deadlocked on 25 seconds. Mitchelton Scott will be happy with the 3 riders in the top 10, if not necessarily with their final positions. Well, thanks very much for joining us for the Tour Down Under, and the great news is you don't have to wait long for more action here on GCN Racing. You'll be able to catch the Vuelta San Juan later today, everywhere except Latin America, and we also had the Jaco Harold Sun Tour in February. Until then, bye for now.